Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Well, no fancy DVD or Blu-ray updates. I thought maybe we could probably talk about none of the Three Stooges. And lately, since the new movie, the 2012 Three Stooges film, is absolutely brilliant. And that's what we're going to talk about today on our Best Much Me Reviews. Welcome back. Well, when did I think about the Three Stooges movie?
It's freaking awesome!
Yeah, I actually just think that it's a brilliant, good movie and well worth to see. I don't care if there's anybody who out there who thinks that the Three Stooges ain't shit and ain't really worth to see in a motion picture movie. This movie is actually the shit. This is actually one of the finest movies I ever seen, and probably likely will never see it again. And I'll tell you why. The actors played the characters well and actually really provide themselves as an icon. Two brothers decided they wanted to basically do a movie based on the Three Stooges, which is, they were the first ever to do very good stunts, special effects, and even using prop working. Now, the reason why I mentioned this, and the reason why I'm saying this, is because I was personally see the film right before it came out, and I was very surprised for what they did. In the beginning, you do get a little bit of the young and very innocent side of the film, with the Stooges actually become young babies, and when they got much older, and when they become pre-teens, they are very much the story starts off of them, living in an orphanage, trying to really have a certain family, which they. One of the characters, Mo, for instance, actually was the first one to be adopted, by these two versus parents. Now, I don't know a whole entire cast, but I do know the fact that the Franklin brothers decided they wanted to do a movie based on the three names of stars, for instance, the Three Stooges, which I was pretty obvious thinking, well, they can make the Three Stooges more as a kind of comedy if they really play if they have they have to properly find the right cast and even find the right three guys who could play the Three Stooges and actually really kind of be outrageous and silly and goofy and the whole switch to bangers of how the Stooges were made in the shorts. But I think the most thing I like about the character, what can I say? Well, what can I say about it? It's just probably one of the finest, funniest movies I enjoyed of all time. And by seeing it in the big screen, it is actually just hilarious. I mean, I was just really laughing my ass off, and I just enjoyed it. I mean, there were not a lot of people who were prepared to see the film, but I was personally want to see it because I was really, desperate to know and see this movie was pretty good. And it was. It was really a brilliant movie. I mean, they took the stunts and the special effects and all the original other work very well based in the shorts. Because in the Stooges shorts, you get to see, the stars, Mo, Larry, and Curly, and Nicole Shep, and all the others, actually take these stunts and actually make them more as kind of like, okay, well, they can make it as fake as well, because I don't want to give away too much towards the end, because the ending is actually very well interesting, and this is why I think you should definitely recommend to see it. And if any spoilers out there, definitely turn this video off, because like I said, I will give some more spoilers for people who haven't seen the film or actually definitely need to see the film already. But before I go to basically towards the ending, I want to base this based on some of the first line of the story. In the beginning, you see the Stooges in a proper rubber bag, which probably for instance, the Nun sisters are actually running a orphanage. So the Stooges are very orphanage as well, Richard. So they decided they were more Richard Bliss. And, they worked with the nuns Richard properly. And the only thing I like about the Stooges and stuff is that all the jokes are there, Richard. They really crack up the jokes, Richard. I mean, the guy who played Curly was this amazing Richard guy. I mean, he wasn't, really prominent as what Curly did, Richard, but he did really portray that. He did really, have the knock, 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 and all that, Richard. Certainly, and all that stuff, Richard. But possibly again, just lines, Richard, that Curly was dating Richard in the shorts. But I don't see no purpose for what they were trying to have. Because, I mean, you got Mo. You got the guy who played Mo, who looks super kind of like him. But to be fair, Richard, it's pretty obvious that the actors who play the roles, they did pretty well, good job. I will say for the guy who played Curly, did a very well good job. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was great. It was really seeing him to really betray that character and stay to that character because, Curly is supposed to be the sweetheart, the most kind of like probably the baby child, trying to be, very well, how can I say, more as kind of like the babe kind of character because he loved being as a contemporary child who maybe people who had that kind of capability to be more funny because Curly has always been about making jokes of himself, especially when you look at the shorts. If anyone have never seen the Three Stooges shorts, definitely really pick these volumes up because these are actually one of the best shorts you can ever possibly to watch. If you don't know about the Three Stooges, I definitely recommend you pick up these volumes, especially with the documentary of it. But that's not the whole I'm talking about. I'm talking about there are certain people out there who doesn't think that the Three Stooges is all about poking someone. It's all about originally fighting over each other, poking the eyes, and stuff. Well, that's a part of the character itself. It's a part of being funny. I mean, a lot of people think that comedy is supposed to be a little bit more too intense and a little bit too violent. But, the comedy has always been about violence and very well just out there. So you do see that in the Three Stooges movie. Because I was really laughing at seeing how ridiculous they was, probably their lines and probably doing their stunt work and basically doing all the facial expressions, doing all the eye poking, getting hit by a hammer and all that stuff. But here's the real kicker I like about in the film itself. I think the only reason I love about the film is that we see a lot more depth and a lot more drama. There's a little bit of drama touch between Mo, Larry, and Curly. Because in the beginning, young kid Mo was adopted originally basically first, and he wants to have his old friends to come along because his parents decided, well, it wasn't a good idea originally to actually get them all together originally, but that's how when you're trying to have a group of friends and you've been second with for a long, long time, it's pretty obvious that they're just basically having a wonderful and most beautiful relationship and friendship. So, to my sense, I think it's pretty obvious it was really a depth scene to see the young Mo be very well be departed with his friends, and then you see that originally when they're on the stage when they just basically start threatening fighting with them, and then tell them to bush off, and Mo is very just kind of like he doesn't even care about it. But towards that, I think at the end of the movie, we do see him, be able to get back with his friends and try to help out this other orphanage child who was basically adopted. And, the whole wish of this goes like crazy. I mean, the jokes are very well funny. The whole process of seeing a Three Stooges movie in big screen to see it, see the actors who play their characters, I don't think it was really that bad. I personally enjoyed it. I really think it was one of the probably only movies that ever been recently been released at any time. Because we haven't really seen much comedy movies that much lately. I mean, yeah, they have been very well decent and funny and goofy ball rappers or romantic comedy flicks, but nothing can take version on the Three Stooges. Because the Three Stooges is all about slapping Slilly and all that really gossip with each other. But it's all about really, kindness and really kindness and be a very reciprocal human being, because there was a lot of great cast members. I mean, there were very well cast members I did not know they would have to put in. Like, for instance, Jennifer, I think her name, I keep forgetting, but the singer, Jennifer, who played the nun. And I was very kind of curious, like, how she ended up got to play this role, play as the nun, which I was very kind of curious. And I'm thinking, well, they probably put her in, which that she's a singer, she could probably play the role, and she probably knows about the Three Stooges as much as anyone else does, but that's not the whole point I'm saying. I think it's like the cast are very well driven, but I do found very odd scenes and very well odd characters that, well, it's very hard to explain, Richly, because, I had watched it, Richly, when this announcement came out, because I went to the theater, I took my seat, and I actually really want to see it. But I was very kind of curious with the other characters. Like, for instance, I can't really pronounce the other named characters, but, with the younger child, being the orphanage, which had been taken with the music for him, was pretty well odd, Richard, for some reason. I mean, he was an okay character, but he wasn't really a driven character. He wasn't really kind of like very intended to be. I mean, yeah, there were scenes that he did kind of recognize the boys and everything through the orphanage when they were younger. And it was very well kind of interesting to see that, but I think there was not a whole lot more of it to it. I mean, yeah, sure, originally probably just the base of the movie itself, and probably, hopefully, if it comes out on Blu-ray, I would definitely pick it up, Richard, because I would love to see nice quality, Richard. I always think they probably do the Three Stooges volumes on Blu-ray and be nice quality, but that's a whole broad story. The whole point, Richard, I think, found for other characters, like for the very attractive woman who is basically married to this other dude that is supposed to be, and towards the beginning, we see her be more convinced with this man, and she is basically trying to basically the man and the wife, who was basically actually married to this other man who was living in the orphanage when he was probably a lot more younger, and he wants to commit suicide with his biological husband, which the proper husband that she's actually hanging out with when she talked about the Stooges and how they raised the money to get enough money to keep the orphanage running up and going. She kind of really realized that, these are not probably your average idiots. They just very well are goofballs and very well contended, because, the Stooges will always get out any situation. I mean, it just really just out of the walls. Even if they basically, jump off a 10 or 30-story 10-story building, they still find a way to get out of any situation. I mean, come on, that's just the genuine why the Stooges are probably made to be more as a comedy whole, which, nowadays, which comedy is very well lacking in them today. But that being said, the character itself, originally, the female character, who is very well attractive, very well interesting, she kind of asked the Stooges to originally murder her husband, which pretty obvious that is pretty kind of a little slender towards it. I mean, yeah, that is kind of a plot line towards it, but it really doesn't make a whole lot more sense. I mean, it just really kind of irritates me to see a female character who just basically kind of like realize that she wants to murder her biological husband, which the Stooges started thinking that husband who we saw Richard in the beginning was basically one who basically they wanted to kill. So they tried most of the time to they have him. The scene was actually pretty brilliant. I mean, he got run over by a bus. He got run over by the swisher, vacuum swisher, whatever you call those machines, those workers' news. And he's been stepped on by a old lady, and he's been shot at by a crossbow, which I thought that was hilarious. I mean, that scene was just funny. I mean, it was just balls along the wall. I mean, it was amazing. And I think towards the end, and when they went to the hospital to try to find the guy and try to murder him, they tried to use dynamite to originally, blow him out originally, or whatever. And then originally the nurse trying to find the Stooges, which they try to get away from. And it's like, that's how basically how the Stooges are, Richard. They just run away, Richard, from any kind of possible thing. They're not really a triple, average fighters who are trying to stick up for them. They do stick up for themselves, but they always get out in a situation and try to, not try to cause them fights, which I found that pretty wise in the shorts. That was pretty much of the Three Stooges shorts. Because you see that original element with the Stooges just running away without any controversy to stick up for them. So, yeah, you do see in some shorts, like, when Curly is basically trying to fight the crooks or the probably bad guy character, he knows originally that it's not basically going to work out. Originally. Towards the end, they're always going to basically get out of any situation and just run off and just go with their separate ways, which is, towards the end, I will get this version, I'll get that version a little bit later. What else seems was probably good. I do like the fact that they have Mo be more let down, knowing that both he and his probably other friends, well, probably of the other gang, Mo and Curly, they realize he's being a coward because he can't really, prop himself to have any help with this very just adult character that they actually met with the orphans when he was younger. And it's pretty obvious of that, Richard. It's just something that you've never seen in any of these shorts. I mean, you do see the elements of Moby as a, hard onto the other two, but deep down, he's very well hurt himself. So you do see that, Richard, in towards the middle of the movie. And it's pretty obvious of that, Richard, when he got signed up from the Jersey Shore crew and the cast. It was pretty well let down. The thing I dislike the scenes with Mo Richard when he had with the Jersey Shore cast wasn't funny. I mean, yeah, there were some scenes that were funny, like, for instance, like, we got to see Snooki, the guy poking the eye. I mean, come on, that's just something you never thought was I thought that was pretty well funny. But it wasn't really kind of like funny. But, yeah, I think it was pretty well dumbfounded to see Mo, be able to hang out with the Jersey Shore guys. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't have no person with any Jersey Shore folks out there who live in Jersey or any Staten Island, but it's pretty well done because you get to see the cast that's basically just knowing that they just basically are here just basically for a scene. And I don't know if that was for the plot Richard for the brothers to have them shoehorned in towards the Three Stooges movie, but I'm pretty sure it was worth Richard to basically have the audience to really see Richard, because when I came to the theater, there wasn't a lot of people Richard who want to see it, and I don't blame them. I mean, some people I know decent popular fans, and even family members who love, even their children love the Three Stooges. Half the time, it's not only about the poking the eye, slapping the face, and all that stuff, Richard being called a moron and all that stuff. It's a very well generalized film, because you look at the shorts, they kind of take that elements, but they really kind of make it more as a 25th century, 20th century reality, that you can actually see the Stooges in full color, which it's pretty obvious that you don't see that originally in the shorts. But in some ways in that film, you do see the elements of them originally, jumping off originally of tall buildings, poking somebody in both the eyes, giving headbutts, and you see Curly using the knock summit, and using all those lines. It's there. It's really there with the base of the shorts. So I don't know why people really think that it's not really related towards the shorts. It had been really related to the shorts. I mean, why would you basically don't think it's related to the shorts? I mean, Three Stooges has basically been more popularity since right before when other sort of comedians would take over. I mean, Three Stooges has been around from the 1930s, so all the way before basically the shorts, the movies, the merchandise and everything. I mean, it's not like, okay, they were basically, wasn't popularity. I mean, they have been very well let down for certain people who don't think that the Stooges are properly well funny. Take your grant for it, I don't mind, Richard, but to just understand, this is not like, okay, an average movie that you see this in the start of it. They can start planning to try to keep it as original as possible as it can be, but they want to make it a little bit twist. So you do see that in the in the movie itself. So right before I was going back to talk about how the end originally does at the end of the movie, we see the brothers explain to you, and this is it. This is a spoiler for you guys. So definitely, you definitely definitely need to stop this movie and just go see the movie itself. Because, like I say, you will not be disappointed with this. Towards at the end, when the Stooges are riding the horse and the ending credits which start playing with the theme song, you do see the brothers actually explain to you about the props and stunts and all the, the way that Mo pokes eye on Curly or Larry and all that stuff, versus smacking the. It's all basically stunt work, and it's all basically special effects, like sound effects, very well original. And I'll get to that more later. Sound effects very well driven towards the shorts, and you do see that originally in the shorts itself, because they explain to you about how these stunts are really proper work, how these properly just fake, because they will show you originally how the hammer was fake and how it was rubberized. It's pretty well interesting originally to see that originally, and then there also was another hammer that they used originally for those trying to use a crowbar and all that. And then they explain to you how the eye poke works. So what the eye poke works is that it's not like Mo was actually going towards the eyes, like going very towards the eyes. Let's say, for instance, if I was facing like this, and if I go towards my eyes like this, it would probably be a little bit too convincing. But if you watch the shorts, if you probably pause and maybe slow down the process of how the shorts, how can I say, pause the one of the shorts and see how Mo was able to poke in the eye. Because they explain to you, he's not going towards the eyes. He's going towards the little parts of the eyebrows. So if you do it in slow motion, that's how it explains originally the eye poking. So if you do it fast, you could basically see the eye poking, thinking, oh, they actually got poked in the eye, which is pretty obvious, originally. And the idea of using like this, it's pretty well considered that shows a little bit of the Three Sisters humor. And that's what I love about the humor, because the humor was really great, Richard, to see, the actors play the characters. And actually, the actors play the actors. I don't know why I said characters, but you know what I mean. The actors play the actors of the shorts. But you do see that in the negotiation of the film itself, because in one of these shorts, some of them, I think, Richard, and a lot of them, actually really, have very considered stunt work, prop work, and even really special effect work. Now, the sound effects are very well, just brilliant. I mean, there's just no point they were trying to make a different sounds, because they kept it very minimum as what they did with the shorts. For instance, I think there was one. I think the eye poking was very well kind of mentioned, well done. But that's not what I'm talking about. The whole process of seeing them actually really have the sounds more interesting, because when you hear the clunk or the passive of the fire hose or McCluck towards the hammers and all that kind of stuff, you do see that there, Richard. It's all there, and I think it's just really just driven to see that way. I mean, it just really just kind of came for me as a Stooges fan myself, watching the shorts as a young kid and as a pretty much 24-year-old adult. I see no purpose for what they were trying to do. They kept it very well minimum, and they kept it very well simple, because if they did it differently, then there would probably be a little bit of disappointment from some Three Sisters. I wouldn't say there are millions of Three Sisters fans out there, but there have been very well super fans out there who know they have to keep this similar, like it's basically what they did basically in the Three Sisters shorts. So overall, I see no purpose to basically what the movie had done. I think they did a very well good job. I mean, the brothers, the Franco brothers, did a very well, a pretty good job. And yeah, I don't see no purpose for basically what they tried to do. There are elements that you probably eventually think that, well, they could do a lot more better. and they could be a lot more. Well, for instance, go fucking watch the Three Stooges shorts, and then go watch the movie itself for your own terms, because this is probably far more original. I mean, don't get me wrong, the movie itself is brilliant, but the shorts really kind of capture a lot more originality towards the film, because you do see that in the shorts. If you don't pay much attention of the Three Stooges or what they offer originally, go watch the movie itself, and you will understand. Then go watch the shorts and really explain about yourself as a movie viewer. You're supposed to be understanding that, okay, that really sets it up a basis of the plot of the film itself. But just don't be more contentious of what it was and how it is explained to you. So, yeah, I don't see no purpose, Richard, for it. When I give the rating of the Three Stooges movie, well, there have been some elements, originally, and there have been a little bit of letdowns. But overall, the film itself is brilliant. It's worth watching for any Stooges fan out there who wants to laugh out loud with the film itself. And if there's not really many Stooges fans out there, just take a chance to watch it, because you won't be disappointed. I mean, it's a very well-written movie and very well scripted, and it really follows on the basis of these shorts. So what's the harm with that? So my rating of the Three Stooges 2012 movie, 9 out of 10 stars rating. Just because the lack of basically of the humor, the lack of basically of the stunt work, the props, the actors, and the brothers itself, who really just took the time and effort to just make a wonderful movie. And if you're a Stooges fan and you really want to see a very well considered movie, you definitely need to see Three Stooges movie. Definitely see the 2003 Stooges movie, because you would not be disappointed. And it just really worth your money to see that movie. I mean, if you're just a comic guy who wants to see a very good classic and very less drama versus comedy, definitely worth to see Three Stooges, because it's pretty well written. But I will say, for what instance, I will tell you that some of the scenes are pretty well kind of done version, because you do see a little bit of main actors. For instance, I think the Old Spice guy who tried to sign a contract with basically Mo to do a Jersey Shore episode, which I find that pretty obvious to him to be on set. I think that's the guy who used to get these Old Spice shampoo. No, I think shampoo or basically whatever that pheromone stuff, which he did in the commercials back in the day. And I'm pretty obvious that I did not know it, that I recognized his face, but until now. So that's pretty something that you don't know. And along with basically with Jersey Shore cast, I mean, yeah, they did okay originally, but still, it'd be a lot more better if they wouldn't really actually were there originally. And if the brothers are planning on doing a sequel of the Three Stooges, I would definitely like to sign up for it, because I would love to see the Stooges be back and actually, be able to make proper sequels. I mean, not just because that the franchise of the Stooges itself was big in the 1930s. They were just phenomenal big. I mean, they were just like many Stooges merchandise, like toys, T-shirts, and all that other stuff. I mean, it just really explains that as a fan, because the brothers are fans. They take the elements of the Stooges shorts and they put in this as a fan base for the fans. So to me, if you're a fan, you definitely owe yourself to see it, really, because you will not be disappointed. You will very well enjoy it, be cheerful, laugh out, maybe a little cry at the end. Because I did kind of got a little tear in the vision towards the end of the movie, because towards the end, it was very well driven. But I'm not going to give that away, because I don't want to spoil you guys, Richard, basically. But I did spoil you for you to let you know, Richard, that I did, Richard. But there are some scenes that I don't want to give away too much, because I don't want to properly, give away so much information, Richard, for you guys. And then that's how nowadays, Richard, we cannot be spoiled, Richard, when we see movies. Yeah. So, like I said, yeah, 9 out of 10 stars of the Three Stooges movie. Definitely want to see it. Definitely want to pick it up. If it comes out on Blu-ray, I would definitely pick that up, because that's just something that I never expected, Richard, that anybody could probably really take the Three Stooges back on screen and just making it as a wonderful way to and most funny comedy movie that I have probably ever seen. And yeah, definitely worth basically seeing it if you're a Three Stooges fan. Alrighty, so that pretty much ends up this first ever movie review of the Three Stooges, and I'm looking forward to doing a couple more movie reviews because they have been movies I wanted to basically see, but never got around to got around to see it. But I will eventually do that someday. But yeah, that's the end of the review for me now. So until next time, this is Sarah Brown. Thank you for watching, and sayonara.